Hey, good morning and welcome to Shop Local Rhode Island. Yeah, I am flying solo today and this feels very strange for me. So welcome. I have my coffee as usual and we are going to jump right in this morning with some exciting information about Design Week Rhode Island. So if you haven't heard, this is Design Week in Rhode Island and it's run by DesignXRI. And today we have Devin Samuels, the Program and Events Associate for DesignXRI. And Devin, first of all, I want to say I'm so happy to have this be a part of Shop Local Rhode Island. Devin is a poet educator, and we can bring Devin on, and I'd love to just introduce him as he's on. Good morning.
Good morning.
So Devin is a poet educator, and he has a strong investment in the Rhode Island community and in the New England community. He spent years cultivating youth spaces throughout New England. And I'd love to just jump right in and hear a little bit about your background and how you found yourself in Rhode Island coordinating this major event.
Well, thanks for the opportunity, Lori. I grew up in Rhode Island and Cranston, and then spent a lot of time as a young person doing poetry and arts education at AS 220. And so that was the stage that kind of got me into that side of things. And then as I went to college, and then some of my first jobs after college was a lot of event curation, facilitation, and then running larger and larger festivals. I helped out with the regional Louder Than a Bomb Youth Poetry Slam Festival in Michigan. I ran the competition portion of the International Youth Poetry Slam Festival for a few years. And then after sort of like going to the Midwest, being out there for a time, I've moved back to Rhode Island to try to invest in the community back here that helped build me up. And after so long doing youth education work, it's been really a blessing to be able to be on the other side of that and trying to help cultivate the economy, the creative economy, and build out jobs for these young people when they get older.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so important. It's so good. I almost want to ask you for a quick slam poetry session, but I don't know. I jumped in, I would say yes or no.
Maybe by the end of it, if I can pull something.
Okay. All right. I do have a question. I was thinking that since you are an innovative design thinker, onstage performer, I do have a special question for you at the end, but we're going to hold it. Okay. And I think you'll appreciate it. So Design Week RI, let's talk about, I said when we first met this morning that you must be very tired. I used to, probably one of the biggest events I've ever done would be like a 3-day event, but you are organizing a 1-week event with things happening in the day and in the evening. So tell us a little bit about where you are in this week of events right now.
Yeah, so we are going Friday to Friday, and I didn't actually realize this when I first thought about it, but it's an 8-day event because both Fridays are booked up. So then all of a sudden we have an 8-day week when we're exactly halfway through, starting in on the 5th day. And so we've had about 15 to 17 events thus far. We have about 23 more to go. And some of these events are virtual or in person. We have talks, we have workshops, we have open studios. And other than one event, it's all free. It's all free and open to the public.
It's really amazing. I've been watching your social media stories, your crazy social media stories. So Visual Thrive's a social media company, and your stories are just like boom, 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 boom. It's kind of incredible the amount of, or maybe it's just what I'm looking at is just the energy, the people, the excitement. So far up until today, what has been kind of like a standout, awesome activity or experience?
Wow. Well, let's see. So everything that has happened so far has been really incredible. So picking out a couple things is really tough. Yeah. I know Lois Harada did a DWRI letterpress workshop and basically took folks into a printing press space and taught them how to make screen prints and other types of prints and use that machinery. And some of the pictures came out from that were amazing. Chrissy, my coworker, who was the staff at the event, said it blew them away.
Wow. And where are they located?
I am not sure, but I can find out in
okay.
2 seconds.
It's on your schedule.
It's all in Providence. I believe they are over on Rice Street in Providence.
I love that you have like all sorts of, like, you have great events in Newport, you have events, in Northern Rhode Island. I like the way everything is spaced out. Even though Rhode Island is small, Rhode Islanders are like, oh, that's really far. It's going to take me more than 20 minutes to get there. But the events are amazing.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because yesterday we did a day of design in Newport. So we had 9 events that happened all in Newport throughout the day. And it was really incredible. We had a culminating cocktail and panel at Hammett's Hotel with the designers who designed different aspects of the hotel. And so being able to have that intersection of like experiencing the space while hearing from the designers who created the space about their intentions and about their process, being able to do events like that, I think is really kind of the core of Design Week.
Oh, it's very cool. And it's so important for Rhode Islanders. So Visual Thrive is a Goldman Sachs 10K company too. But I think in Rhode Island, design is this underlying part of who we are, but to really expose the fact that we have so much amazing design in Rhode Island that's happening now. It's really cool. So what's coming up? What's the day? We're starting the day with business over breakfast and kind of giving an overview. So as you talk to the audience, what should they do today?
So today, if you're in East Providence, we have a number of activations there. There's Design Improv, and Indo Studios is doing an open studio. And then this evening, we have the Marathon Clam Bake, which we're really excited about. Clam Bake is our monthly speaker series where we usually have 2 designers come, each present on their process or highlights what excites them about their work. And then there's a Q&A. But for Design Week, we bring in 4 different designers. And this year we collaborated with Nashville Design Week. So one of the designers is phoning in or video calling in from Nashville, so that we can have more of a discussion, a roundtable discussion that involves interregionality. One of the strange but beautiful things that have come out of this digital boom since the pandemic is that a lot of the design weeks of different spaces have been talking to each other more. So being able to forge that relationship and get an event where Rhode Islanders and Nashville designers are on the bill is really cool.
Yeah, I love that. It's so important, I mean, I think that, I don't know if it's the pandemic or just this like force to digital through the pandemic that we're making, or it just feels easier to say, let's make a connection digitally like that. So we talked a little bit about the Hall of Fame. So if you could just kind of give me an overview of what happens at the Hall of Fame and why is that an important event?
So the Hall of Fame dinner, I believe it is the 6th annual Rhode Island Design Hall of Fame award ceremony. And in it, we have a lifetime achievement category and an emerging designer category. So we honor folks who have either 30 plus years of experience in the field and have been influential to design both locally, nationally, internationally. And then we also have the emerging designer category for folks who have been in design less than 15 years, who are making a name, and we're looking at them as folks who have a huge potential to make impact. So we have a couple different awardees in each of these categories, and then we get to honor them at this Hall of Fame dinner, reveal it, and you can see on our website both the new inductees and all of the previous Lifetime Award and Emerging Designer awardees.
That sounds great. So I'm thinking that I'm going to invite my team so we can all go together. Can we dance?
Oh, there will be dancing.
Okay.
Dancing.
That is something I'm missing. I keep saying that once this is over, I have this vision. Maybe you can help me. There's going to be a big truck coming by my house right now. I have this vision, of renting Go Island on Newport and having all different music and performance events for an entire weekend once this pandemic is over, so that we can all just really celebrate and dance together.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful vision that I would love to help you execute.
Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. So great. So Hall of Fame is Wednesday, and there'll be an award ceremony. And what else is coming up for the week?
So we have some talks happening on Friday and Thursday that are really, really incredible. One is really about, how do I even articulate this? It is about finding your own, not like just your own space, but how do you create a space that begets creativity? And it's in pairing with the opening of Curiosity and Company. Curiosity & Co. is sort of the outcropping of Epic Decade, which was a decade-long design project that really, you should look into it. It really helped burgeon the field in many ways. But Dreaming with Place Bookstore as Experience Design is the title of the talk, and it's happening in their new bookstore space.
It's really great.
We have a few other things as well. We have a couple of flower design workshops, which are really awesome. Some more digital offerings are Moral Docs, which is going to be a digital offering Thursday. And then tomorrow we also have the Design of Black Business, how Black creators are fueling innovation and the economy.
Wow, nice.
So these are some of the digital offerings that I want to uplift because they are easier to get to, and because they're all COVID friendly. They are not in person, they're digital.
Yeah, I think so. Part of my training is coaching and life coaching. I'm a master coach, and part of that training included, how does your space reflect what's happening in your own life? And I think that it's so interesting. I was working actually with a textile designer on really creating space that was flowing so that there would be a feeling of creativity and openness, but from a design perspective also, with the actual like big giant table and all the other stuff that you need as a designer in your space, and not just turn it into like a workspace, but a very reflective, creative space. But yeah, I think it's really important. So let's talk about what does Design Week success look like for you?
Well, it's really a day by day thing. So I've just been kind of like checking each day as like everything happened. It's like the first thing. Everything happened. People attended. The rooms were not locked. Things like that. Definitely from my logistical brain.
I think one of the funniest things about running an event is like, you do everything. You send the emails out. Everybody's in place, and then you get that one email saying, "Where am I supposed to go? What's the login? How do I get there?" And you're just like, there's an email that went out 3 days ago, and yeah.
And one of the funny things about organizing folks is that it's herding cats. It's always herding cats. Everyone's kind of just wandering in their own direction, and you got to kind of corral. I thought that was going to be a phenomenon that I left behind when I left doing youth education space, and it turns out that's just how people are built.
Yeah. That's great. So sometimes Ben and I do this. We do like this lightning round. Ben, I'm not asking you for the lightning round. Our co-producer today is under the weather. So, but one of the things that we always ask our guests is, so how do people best find you and work with you? If they were thinking, I want to be a part of this, this is interesting for me. How should they connect you? Where are you? Who would they talk to?
So I would be the person to talk to initially, in terms of programs and events. And if it's in terms of organizational partnership or funding, that would be Lisa Carnevale, our executive director. And you can find us both through the brand new website that just launched with the Design Week this year. That is very sleek. Y'all should definitely check it out and check us out through there. As well, there's the social media at DesignXRI on Instagram and Facebook. And I think those are the best ways to contact us, or you can just email me directly. Let me know who you are and what you're interested in doing.
I saw the new website, and as I was looking around, we launched Shop Local Rhode Island, and it went public in August. So we're very young. And as I was looking around your website, I love the way you have like this is where I am, and I want to go back to where I know that there's some special technology term for that, but it was something that I noted, like, I want that in our website too. It's just a very nice flow of where you are on the site. Yeah, for me, I'm a map girl, so I really
there it is.
That. Yeah, that's great. So if you were hired for the coolest gig ever, what would that be?
If I was hired for the coolest gig ever.
Yeah.
What do you mean by gig? Like full?
So I would say, if someone, I don't know, what would be your coolest gig ever?
I mean, I am a nonprofit administrator. I'm also a poet and a ceramicist. So I think the coolest gig ever finds the intersection between those things. So it's something like Design Week, right, where I'm running a festival of sorts, but then also able to utilize or leverage interdisciplinary artistic space and design space, and probably in a denser situation. So there's no COVID in my ideal gig. We can be in a conference hall, and you have poets and potters and different types of artists and architects coming together and building community.
That kind of sounds like the Rhode Island vision.
It could, absolutely. My desires for ideal gigs are not far from the realities that I'm able to live, which is something that I'm really proud of and work really hard for. But my desires are pretty humble. I really just want community to be built, and I want folks to support each other. I think it's the most beautiful thing. It's what I have built my life trying to cultivate.
I am right there with you. That's amazing. Ben, we did have a question come up. Do you have your own event venue?
Me personally,
I'm going to guess it's for DesignXRI.
I mean, DesignXRI, we have an office, but we don't have an event venue. We work in collaboration with a bunch of the other nonprofits and event spaces in the city. And I think that's honestly a really strong way to do it. I feel that a lot of folks gravitate towards ownership when it comes to event space. And they're like, oh, we want our own space. But I think at the end of the day, partnership is how those spaces stay afloat. So either you are on the owning side and then you're negotiating partnerships with other folks who are using your space, or you don't have a space and you're negotiating partnerships, but it doesn't actually save that much energy to have your own space, unless you have the management and you're doing that for a revenue model. So
do you think that DesignXRI, obviously, this is a really big event and a super important one in terms of the flagship offer that the organization delivers in the community, what would you say that is?
I think it's Design Week. This is
Yeah.
this is our largest event. It is the most public event, and we put 40 events together between 8 days, and we hit numbers like that pretty much every year for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
This is a space in which folks come together.
Yeah.
I missed it. It was quick.
Ben, can we have that back? Chad Morrison, we got to get you on here. He's got some ideas.
Yeah, we've also done some events with Waterfire and Waterfire Arts Center that were lovely.
Yeah, Rhode Island is really such a cool place. I think the more we do this show, the more we continue to uncover all these little gems around the state. It's kind of amazing that we're so small and so eclectic at the same time. So here's another, okay, here's the question that I was saving for you. It wasn't the coolest gig ever question, but I had to ask you because I knew that you're doing these other things besides Design Week. Okay, so who, dead or alive, would you like to have coffee with and pick their brain?
Wow. Okay. I haven't been asked this in a while. I mean,
and I'll give a shout out to our audience if they want to put some names up. I'd love to hear from everybody. This is always such a cool question for me because the follow-up is why.
I mean, I would love to chop it up with Angela Davis. I would love to chop it up with Angela Davis. So this morning, right? I'm not saying this is the permanent answer forever. Right. There's so many amazing folks, but Angela Davis is this morning's answer. And
what do you want to know from her?
Honestly, how to stay in the struggle, how to stay in the fight, and how to. So much of my reading and my listening to Angela Davis has shown like a brave hope of change that I have trouble holding on to now, and I can't imagine adding decades to fighting for social justice and fighting for liberation and still maintaining like a joyful hope and drive. And so that's really what I want to like pick from Angela Davis's brain and like talk about is like tactics on sustaining the self while pushing towards liberation.
Yeah. Whew, those are big questions. Yeah, I love it. Well, I really want to thank you for joining us this morning on Business Over Breakfast. We did a great review on Design Week, and if I can grab my team to join me tomorrow, I will see you at the Hall of Fame.
That would be wonderful.
I would really love that. And I got a new dress too. So.
Ooh, yep. Perfect time. I haven't been able to get fancy for so long. It's going to be really fun.
I know. Well, I look forward to it. And I really want to thank you for just spreading the word and doing the work that you do in the community, because it is important to us. Shop Local Rhode Island is that platform. We hope to offer our community a place to sell their stuff. And that's important too. Absolutely.
Building the economy, especially for makers out here right now, is so important.
Right. And I'll give a shout out if people contact you or contact me, like we can get your stuff up on the site. We can get your products up. We're doing 5 products for free until September 30th. So if anyone wants to do that, just give us a ring. Yeah. Thank you so much, Devin. It was really, really great. Here's to you. Here's to a great day.
Thank you for having me on the show, Lori.
All right. Thanks. All right. Whew. Wow. Angela Davis. I was trying to think of one of my favorite readers is Baldwin as well. And so there are so many important things that we need to do in our community now. And in the last year, especially, we've seen the world change for sure. So we offering platforms for communities to operate and share and collaborate is what we do. And that is the final word from Shop Local Rhode Island. Thank you. Have a great day.